Hello everybody, my name is Ketsu and I am a concept artist. For those who don't know, a concept artist is someone who is a constant thinker, who thinks of multiple ideas for characters, for creatures, for vehicles, for props, for environments, basically the world itself. That's what I am. As for my story, more into that later. Just long story short, I took in a hellhound that's the daughter of Cerberus. Anywho's it, I am here to show you on how to draw anime characters. Now for those who are intermediate concept artists, or just artists in general who draw anime, who are again beginners, or those who are intermediates who really want to delve into more on how to draw, on what to draw, I'm here to help you with that. So today, I'm going to show you on how to draw the very first step. Usually it's the faces, but it's mostly the eyes that can be the problem. Here's what we're going to do today. We're doing the eyes. Ready? Step 1, making a path. So in this video, I am going to show you how to draw anime eyes, and the software that I'm going to be using is called Sketchable. Now, for those who don't know what Sketchable is, it is basically a portfolio software so that you can draw everything and anything that comes to mind. So, like I said, as a concept artist, we have to be thinking machines, always thinking about something new, whether it be characters, whether it be props, whether it be the aperture, basically the clothing, whether it be the environment, everything and anything that boils down to the universe that we're making. This is what we use amongst many others. Now, I am not at all advertising the software, the app. I am not at all advertising it or promoting it. I'm just letting you guys know on what software I'm going to be using to show you on how to draw anime eyes. And I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can try it out for yourself if you would like. And I think you're only able to use it for the PC. I'm not entirely sure if you're able to use it for smartphones. But for now, I'm going to show you on how to draw anime eyes using Sketchable. So without further ado, let's dive in. So in this first step, I'm going to show you on how to make the blueprint. So for those who are doing pen and paper or pencil and paper, it's kind of like making a rough start. It's like making a rough sketch. So whenever you start, you make the rough sketch, and then after making the rough sketch, you polish it. You erase the mistakes that you made and make it look better. Well, this is what layers is in a way. So we come over here, and it's already made out for us. You have the blueprint, the sketch, and this last one I'm going to leave out as in the name for last. But for now, we're going to start with the blueprint. So for those who have a graphics tablet, which is what I have a Huion canvas. I'm going to start off with making the blueprint. So you start off with the ruler. You can then make the blueprint outline itself. So let's start off with this. So that's the top. And right there's the bottom. And now that that's done, we're going to use symmetry. So right here we're going to be making 4 lines. So let's start with this one. 1, 2 on the opposite side. 3, 4. So right here we are going to be making the eyes, and this little gap in the middle, well, you don't really have a third eye in the middle. Unless you're an alien. Nah. That's the final step of making your blueprint. Step 2, eyes and eyebrows. Okay, so for this next step, we're going to be making the eyes. We've already done a good job on making the blueprint. Now, again, we're going to make the eyes. So the first thing to start off with is, since that we're going to be sketching it, we're going to be using an inking nib tool. I use this a lot whenever it comes to sketching, and with this, it's a very useful tool that I use. This is for the accumulation. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember the name. This is for the accumulation. So the accumulation is basically how much you put in, how much more you put in, more. That's what it basically is. But we're going to turn it up to high, and we're going to start with the symmetry. To move forward, we are going to be making the start of the eyes. So to start this, here's the first step. We're going to be using the inking nib tool, or for those who are using a nib tool, a nib pencil as well, or sorry, a nib pen, or for those who are using just a regular pencil, or even the mechanical pencils. Here's how you start off. What you want to do is that you want to make a curve. Now whenever you go slow or fast, if you don't like it, you can always erase it. And then try again. So first you want to make an arc. You want to make sure that it meets from here to here. At least to where it's touching the top of your blueprint. For the bottom, we are going to be making the bottom of the eye. So for the bottom of the eye, you want to come here. Not touching this part of the blueprint, but here and curving it to where it's in the middle. We're going to be making the rest of the eye itself by starting with the eyebrow. So with the eyebrow, we're going to be making the bottom part. So you want to make a little cut right here to make somewhat of the eyebrow. Then do it again. Let's make a small cut. If anything, you can go a little bit further if you like. Depending on your own style, depending on how you want to do it. After this video, you'll be able to think of many other different ways to make eyes. So from here, make a curve. After making that curve, you can see that it's starting to make an eyebrow. Once that's done, we make the eye. So we start from here, and we make a curve. If we don't like the shape, always erase it. You can go a little bit faster so that you can get that smooth curve when it comes to the eye. After that's done, you make a little small curve the same way with the bottom of the eye as well. Now since that's done, now we come to the rest. So if you want to make the rest of the shape of the eye, do not come off right here, because you'll make 100 mistakes just trying to make that one perfect eye, and you'll just waste time. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the other part of the eye over here. So now we make a small cut, curve, and a cut again. We stop, and then we do it again. It's starting to look a lot better. Now again, if you don't like the way it looks, you can always erase, or what I'm doing, I'm redoing my mistake, and curve it. Now for this part, we can always use the eraser. We can always erase. We can always start all over. And now we make the rest of the eye. Come here, curve, and that's it. Now that we've done part of the eye, even though it looks better already, we're going to make basically the light coming off from the eye. We're going to be making the light of the eye by making a circle right here. Now it looks different, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take off the symmetry. We're going to try that again. Make the light coming off from the eye here, and just like whenever you're making any character, whenever it comes to the eye, whether it comes to light shining off of something, say a gem, or it's coming off from a piece of metal or a weapon, you want to make sure that the light reflects in the same direction. So just like when it comes to those, it comes to the same way with eyes. So we did so right here. We need to make sure it's on the same area. Now on to the next step. We're making the eyebrow. So this is actually part of the eye. You have the top eye, you have the bottom eye. We're going to make the eyebrow itself. So we turn on symmetry again, just so that we don't lose time. And then, we made the eye. And if you don't like the way it looks, you can always redo. You can always do however you like. Try it again this way, try it again that way. Or if you want to put in just that little bit more pressure, you can go to the brush tool right here. Make sure it comes out the way you want it. And then make it thinner, or if you would like, make it thicker. Okay, now that we made the eyebrow, we're going to be putting in more detail into the eye. Now, even though it looks good right now, we're going to be putting in more into it. So with this next part, we're going to be making the eye itself. This is not the eye. This is more of the outline. So to start off, we're going to start with the light that comes from the eye right here, and we're going to be making it come all the way around. So let's start right here. That looks good, doesn't it? Even though this part looks a little bit wonky, we can always edit it. And for those who are using pencil and paper, you can always try and erase. And just the same way when it comes to the light right here. You can come right here, erase it. Actually, let's make it just a little bit bigger. And we make the light again. Now, since that we've done that, we're going to be making the crease for the eye. So whenever making the crease, we go above the eye right here and make the crease. And if you don't like the way it looks, keep trying. Looks better. And now we make the inside of the eye, basically what's called the iris, for those who didn't know. So you can use symmetry if you like, and you do this. You make a crescent moon shape in a way. Then go slower. And that is step 2 done. Adding depth. So now in this part of the video, we're going to be adding depth. Now for this step, we're going to be doing something with the blueprint. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to sketch. Now, like I said, whenever you do a rough sketch, what you want to do is go for your sketch itself and try again. So the reason why I didn't go to sketch itself is because you want to redo what you did before, only to make it a finalized sketch like if you wanted to. So whenever we come here, it looks different from what it did before. So again, if you want it, just like when it comes to your rough sketch, if you want to polish it just a little bit more, you can always take that little bit of time and go for more. Now that we filled in the gaps, now we're going to do something different. We're going to the blueprints, and what we're going to do with the blueprints, we're going to erase it entirely. Or you can always keep it again if you want to go back and redo it. So for now, we're just going to turn it off. There's a little eye right here, just means that you turn it on and on. It's called visibility. Just for those who didn't know what it was. And now we're going to be adding depth. So what that means is that we're going to be giving this a little bit more color. So for those who are barely starting, how about we give it a manga look? So from here, we're going to be going with the brush. And we're going to go with just a traditional black. Oh, oops. So from here, we're going to go with the traditional black. Now that we added depth to the outer part of the eye, we're going to go with the inner part. Now any mistakes that we have made so far, we can always fix. So for example, this part looks a little bit wonky. So let's erase it and make it look right. Now that it looks a lot better, we're going to go with the inner eye of the iris. Now since that looks a lot nicer, we just added depth to anime eyes. Now for the final part. Lights and shades. So when it comes to adding lights and shades, the best thing about layers is that you can always rearrange them. So when it comes to this, you have the blueprint, the sketch, and the color. Now I want to apologize, it actually goes, this is in the back, this is in the middle, this is in the front. However, you can always do some with this blueprint. So for here, this is at the bottom. This is behind the sketch. So we're going to put this as back color. So since that is going to be the back color, we're going to be putting in something nice. So let's say purple. So with the color here, you have HSB, red, green, blue. You have your color wheel right here, and even more so to be even more detailed with your color wheel. But for starters, we're going to go with this one. Now when it comes to color, you want to put in the intermediate color of it first, basically the middle. So we're going to start with a middle violet color. Now as for me, I like to put in the soft painter. I like the soft painter mainly because that it actually soothes it out and makes it look a lot nicer. Now that we filled in the color, now we can put in more detail into this. So the best thing about this, whenever you're drawing on a graphics tablet, you can erase your mistakes without any faults. So you can erase this part, and the outline right here, nothing happens because you're coloring behind it. So now that you're colored behind it, you can erase as much as you want and it's completely fine. It looks a lot better than it did before. So now we're going to put in the shade. So since that we have light that comes from here, here's how I would like to just help myself think. Whenever it comes to putting in light, you want to find out where the sunlight is. So we're going to zoom out just a little bit, just a hair. So I'm going to come out just a little. And whenever it comes to sunlight, I could always erase it. I would like to find out where my sunlight is and where the best spot I could put it. So since that there's sunlight here and here, I just make something yellow, just anywhere. And I can always erase it because, for one, it's away from the outline, and two, it's behind the drawing that we made today. So we put sunlight here. So now that we have our light, we can now add in our shade. So what I like to do is I like to see where my light is and where I can reflect it when it comes to the shade itself. And the same thing goes for the tone, for the light. Even though we have sunlight coming off from the eye itself, there's still some light tones that come from the eye within. So for this, we're going to copy the eye. We're going to put in the shade first. So since that's here, we're going to make a curve here. If anything, we could go even further. Now that we've done the shade, we're going to do the light of it, the tone. And even though we've done the inside of the sunlight eye right here, that's absolutely fine. We can always erase it and make it better. Now if you want to add more detail to your eye and make it look a little bit better than it did before, you can always do this. And now we just get rid of this. And with that, we have made our first anime eye. So I want to say congratulations to every single one of you who've watched this and practiced with it. You did amazing. We did amazing. So give yourself a huge clap. Go ahead and give yourself a big pat on the back. We did good. Now for those who are barely beginning, this is your first step. You did amazing. And for those who are intermediate or those who are professional, who are probably saying, I already knew how to do this. It's not a bad thing to share what we know to others who are barely beginning, and this can help us grow as a community. And that's what I want to do. I want to make a community of new concept artists and intermediate concept artists, even those who are professional and want to do the same thing. I want to bring a community of artists together so that we can share what we know with one another and help each other grow as artists in general. So whether you want to be an anime artist, or you want to be a concept artist, or a character designer, or environmental designer, I want to bring every single one of you on a journey as a concept artist, or again, in artists in general. But I want to show what I know with every single one of you, and I'm going to teach you just how I'm teaching myself on how to draw and how to be better. Because I want every single one of us to be better and grow. So for one, thank you so much for watching this video, and please give likes, give a thumbs up. And if you liked it a lot, please subscribe. I will be doing more videos on drawing, and not just drawing, other content as well. I have no clue as to what game I will be playing and uploading, but I will be doing more with this channel. So if you want to do more drawing, I have more steps for every single one of us to take. And it's not just eyes. There's also the head. There's also the figures. There's also chibis. That's also another thing I want to nail down so that we can each practice with that and do more with it. And there's a lot more that I have planned. Please give a like, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you would like, and I'll see you in the next video.